I mean, rules are mechanisms. It's just a way of stating the
How
mechanism.
you implement the mechanism.
Right.
Yep.
Hey folks, welcome to the Dice Tower. I'm Sam.
I'm JT.
And this right here is our bottom 5. That is to say, our numbers 10 through 6 of our top 10 most annoying rules/mechanisms.
Fair.
I think the slash has to be in there. It's a little bit of a gray area. Is a rule separate from a mechanism, or is a rule simply the embodiment of that mechanism? How philosophical do you want to get with this?
Yeah, that's fair. I started off with stuff that's just mildly annoying to things that are infuriating. And a lot of it is kind of funny because it kind of rolls towards, as it gets towards the top especially, where rules that make players not have a good time. Or
Right.
somebody at the table not have a good time.
Right.
Like that's, except
Yep.
for my number one. That's kind of an exception. It's the worst.
Well, mine definitely started with, as probably yours too, my number 10 is not nearly as annoying as my number 1. And it just gets worse and worse and worse as you go up.
Agreed.
And so I tried to get 1 or 2 different games to go with the rule, because I found myself not really pinpointing a specific rule in a game. It's more something that I don't like in games in general, and this is an idea.
Yeah.
This gives you an idea of what I'm talking about.
Yep, agreed.
All right. Well, that's about that. I came up with just 10. There are no honorable mentions.
Oh, I had some other ones.
Yeah.
But and I didn't do like low-hanging fruit like roll and move. I didn't. Just a boring freaking pick. But anyways, I know he'll pick it, so it's good. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't pick that. But I tried to stay away from just old mechanisms. But I hear you. We're good. No worries.
Okay. Shots fired already. Let's get to it.
Always.
All right, my number 10 is one that I have never really liked at all, because it just drives me up a wall whenever the game says that you cannot communicate with your other people, and it's a cooperative game. That bugs me to no end. Now, there have been some games that have used communication limits, that's the name of the mechanism, in such a way to guard against other bad things like alpha player problems and what have you.
Sure.
And I understand that, and usually when they employ those kinds of mechanisms in that kind of game, where you're actively trying to guard against an alpha player, I understand it, and usually they're not as overbearing with it. Like one that came into mind, and this is not my example, but one that came to mind of a good example of communication limits is the Art Project.
This is going to be good.
The Art Project. That's the one that it basically says you just can't show them the card.
Yep.
That's the communication limit. You can't show people the card. You can't play open-handed. You just can't tell. That's the only communication limit. You can tell them everything that your card does. You just can't show it to them.
Yep.
That doesn't bother me. It's when you look at a tile on a board and you have that information now, and it's a cooperative game, but you can't tell anybody about it.
That's silly.
I don't like that. That's
silly.
stupid.
Yeah, that's silly.
Z had a real, I think it was Witches of Salem that did this the worst. And he had a real hard problem with it. For me, it was, I hate games like this. The Mind, I hate that game. And it's because, and I know there's no game if you can talk to people about it. I get that. But that's why I don't like the game. Because you can't talk. You just sit there.
That's a good game.
Waiting. It just drives me up a wall. That's my number 10, communication limits.
All right, my number 10 is a rule I called hide your cards from your teammates. And specifically, my 2 examples are the early pandemics, because they fixed it in the later pandemics.
did.
You could just play with your cards up and the art project.
Yeah,
Because that's about the
funny.
dumbest thing I've ever heard. Is I can tell you everything on my card. I just can't put it down on the table to show you what's on my card.
But
that's
if
silly.
you do that,
No, it's
the alpha
silly.
player just does everything on his own.
You know what the alpha player does instead? He asks you 14 times. Wait, what cards did you have? Wait, what cards did you have? Wait, what cards did you have? Oh,
And
yeah,
you-
you have that card. You should play that card. What was your cards again? I think, oh, wait, give me your... No,
But
just
that's more.
don't play with the alpha player.
Okay,
Kick him
yes.
out of the room and
That's
just play
true.
your game
Yes,
with your
that's
cards
true.
up.
That's true.
So that's
I
a
get it.
silly rule.
I get it. It's a silly rule.
It is.
I
It's a
get
silly
it.
rule.
But it
It's so
helps. It helps.
It doesn't.
It does. It
Not
does
if-
because
not if you have a real alpha gamer.
no, that's the thing, and this will out the real alpha gamers. Maybe that's what it'll do. But that's what I'm saying. I mean, if you have some guy saying, "Hey, so what was your card again? What was your card again?"
Yep.
You can just start saying, "I'm not going to tell you,"
sure, but
which
then
is
the
more
game's over
stupid.
at that point.
But
Hey,
it's one of those things. I get that's funny that we just our first one was a crossover.
Yep, the crossover for sure. Yeah, well, that's my number 10.
All right.
Hide your cards from your team.
All right.
It's just written in the rules.
Okay. Hide your cards from your team.
All right.
Okay, gotcha. All right, my number 9 is a game that I'm going to, the two games that specifically came up with me, and it was a positive and a negative, generally speaking. The positive was Sheriff of Nottingham, and the negative was Cosmic Encounter.
Oh.
And this is negotiation.
Gotcha. I'm not a fan of negotiation.
I am
period.
not a fan of negotiation in games because it's hinged. Rarely, when two people negotiate, will both come out evenly.
Sure.
One person
sure.
is always going to have the upper hand going into a negotiation, usually, and the other person who knows they don't have the upper hand is just going to capitulate to whatever the other person wants to do,
Correct.
just so that they can get something out of the deal.
That's correct.
And
Yep.
it comes really close to king making, which I didn't include in this list.
Well, that's because that's not a rule written in any book.
Exactly. It's not a rule written. It's usually something that happens, kind of like an alpha player problem.
Yep.
So this one is just one of those things where I love negotiation in Sheriff of Nottingham because it's more about how are you and I going to work this out where I don't get really hit hard or you don't really get hit hard, but everybody else, it doesn't really affect them that much.
Sure.
Me negotiating with the sheriff to get my stuff through, first of all, is probably not going to work most of the time because
Depends on the person.
If
yeah.
they think that you're guilty, they're going to pop that.
Sure.
They're going to pop that little button.
Yep.
But in Cosmic Encounter, it usually, when somebody is negotiating with somebody who's going to be the clear winner of whatever, and the negotiation cards, you have 60 seconds to make your negotiations, and usually it takes 5. Or I'm going to do this, and you're going to do this. Cool. It's just a silly rule, in my opinion. I don't like negotiation, period. Generally speaking.
Yep, generally speaking.
Number 9, negotiation.
All right, my number 9 rule is, hey, the person in the lead might as well get an extra turn. That's how they write it. So, and my example of this is actually one of my favorite games, Raiders of the North Sea. But when you complete whatever the objective is in many of these games, Raiders of the North Sea, when the last Valkyrie is gone, or when whatever happens, say I'm the first player and I close out the last fortress, everybody gets one more turn, including me. So not only am I leading the charge and probably doing better, but now I get an extra turn. Like, I don't know why in the world you can't just say finish the round in any game. I don't know. I just say finish the round.
I guess equal number of turns could be a big deal.
Huh? Absolutely.
Equal number of turns could be a big deal.
What do you mean could be a big deal?
Well,
Always, yeah, it could definitely be a big deal.
So, I mean, finishing the round.
That gives you an equal number of
Yeah,
turns.
it does. Yeah, you're
So
right.
if you're playing a
No matter
4-player
what
game
happens.
and the second player closes out the hand, third and fourth get one more turn, and then first and second get an extra turn. So, what is that? Doesn't make any sense.
No, you're true. You're right.
Everybody
Yep.
gets... I don't know why. It's just a silly rule. Just finish the round and be done.
Well, what if you finish the round and everybody gets another turn? Is that what you're talking about?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay.
As soon as the game end trigger happens, then everybody gets
one.
an extra turn.
Yeah.
So that could leave. That could even leave if the third player finishes the round, right? The fourth player gets their turn, and then 1 through 3 all get an extra turn, and that one person doesn't get an extra turn.
Right.
It is 1 turn short on the game. It doesn't make any. I just finish the round.
Yeah.
Or finish the round and do one more round. I don't care.
Yep. I've noticed a lot of
Which I kind of like that actually.
Yeah.
Finish the round and then do one more round.
Yep.
I think that's pretty cool actually.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah. No, I've noticed a lot of games here recently have been doing that. Finish the round and give everybody else one more turn. It used to be.
It happens.
It used to be just finish the round so that everybody
Yep.
has the same number of turns. But
Yep.
yeah. All right. Cool. My number 8 is a game that if a game employs this mechanism or has a rule that eliminates players, I'm usually not interested. Player elimination is one of those things where I really don't. I don't want. First of all, I don't want to be the guy that knocks you out. I don't want to be
Sure.
that person.
Sure.
Because now you don't get to have fun anymore. Now, I also don't like, as we're talking about player elimination, I also don't like games that you can get as far to being knocked out as possible, but you're not out.
Man, you're doing like 4 rules at a time. Hey?
No, I'm not.
Just kidding.
No, I'm not. This is all about play, because one side it's like
Yeah.
player, it's trying to guard against what I don't like about player elimination, but it doesn't really do anything because that person is still not really in the game.
Sure.
They're just still there getting beat on.
Yep.
And I just don't, I mean, it's not that I don't like competitive games. I just don't want to be knocked out of a game, and I don't want to knock somebody else out of the game by that. I just think that that's, I don't know what the word for. I don't want to use, non-inclusive because that's been taken to mean so many different things nowadays.
Sure.
It's just that if I sit down to play a game with 4 people, I want to play a game with 4 people. I don't want there to just be 2 people at the end.
Yep.
But again, that also depends upon the weight of the game, how long the game takes. A long game, I hate player elimination.
Oh yeah, a long game. And the truth of the matter, well, I mean, if you're talking about a long game and player elimination, games like Nemesis, a person can die very, very early, and that's a long game that has player elimination, and it can happen.
Yep.
And it's unfortunate, but too bad. I'm still finishing the game. But on
You're absolutely welcome to sit and watch.
That's right. But or go play some solo game over there. There's Final Girls over there. Go get it. But there's a game that does, I guess, the biggest kudos is for a game like Cthulhu Death May Die that has player elimination. But if there's player elimination prior to the old one coming out on the board, the game's over. Everybody loses.
Yep.
Now, after the old one's on the board, there's only a few runs left. You're really hitting it hard. If you die in that blaze of glory trying to finish off the old one, it's actually quite thematic, and that's good player elimination.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, I get it.
that's a good way to do it.
But generally speaking,
Fair.
I wanna end the game with the same number of people that I started it with.
Yeah, I hear that. All right, my number 8 is a rule that I call pass your work to the next player so they can screw it up. My explanation for my my deal ends. There's a lot of roll and writes and stuff like that now, right? Somebody gets to reach over and put an X or do something like that. Cartographers is the one, and I put this one on here for Mel specifically because she hates this so bad. But in Cartographers, when you're playing in the round and the monster comes up, you have to pass your board to somebody else, and they get to draw that monster wherever they want on that board and give it back. And it is brutal. It is absolutely brutal. And it's horrible. It's really it's very mean.
Yes.
And especially if you have stuff if they can see what you're working on and they know they can really hurt you.
Man.
So
I didn't know that existed.
Yeah, you can also play where, like in the solar player game, when you flip it over, it goes in one of the corners, which is how we play multiplayer with the monsters. Because the rule is pass it to the next person, let them really screw up your board that you've been drawing on your map and give it back to you. But any game where somebody else, and I guess you could translate that to a lot of things, which I think that there's varying degrees. This one's one of the worst or one of the most painful, but there's a lot of things where somebody can mess with your tableau or whatever else, and that happens. But this one specifically, when you give your stuff, your hard-earned cash to somebody else to rip up and throw on the floor.
Yeah.
That's my number 8. Pass your work. Let me screw it up. So, that's a tough rule.
That's good. Games that allow for alliances. I do not like that at all. And one of the reasons why, well, actually, no, I'm sorry. The reason why is because I am usually a loyal person. If
true.
I have an alliance with you, I take that probably more seriously than I should.
Yep, and I'm going to take advantage of that.
And he's going to take advantage of it. And I hate that. And here's the thing, I've experienced it both ways. I've experienced it where, time and time again, I have an alliance with this person that's sitting next to me and they stab me in the back because they got to do this or that or the other.
Yep.
I've also experienced it where I'm like, okay, fine. I'm going to do what everybody else does to me all the time. And I stab the person in the back and they throw water in my face. And I'm like, what in the world's going on? I don't like it. But alliances don't bother me, but the effect of alliances bothers me because I'm usually a person that's going to wear that alliance to my grave and I will defend you to my last breath.
You don't want one of those games where you change alliances 3 times?
No. Negative.
Okay.
I do not like it. Anyway, that's my number 7, alliances.
That's a good pick. All right, well, my number 7 ruined at least one game for me, maybe ruined a couple for me. And actually, I haven't played one that you keep saying it's in, but my number 7 is, hey, why don't we let the clue giver be a traitor? Like, that's the dumbest thing in the world. If there's 5 people sitting around the table and somebody's giving clues...
Are you talking about deception?
And those other 4 players are working their butts off trying to figure out what's being told here, and then the clue giver's lying to you the whole time? Like, that invalidates the entire game. Like, that one and Rear Window was the other one I thought of.
That's true.
So, if you're lying to me, if I can't sit down at the table and if I have to think for 2 seconds, wonder if he's lying to me, then that invalidates the whole game. Like, that's the dumbest thing in the world. Like, this one's starting to get to the infuriating parts already at number 7.
I get you, yeah.
But yeah, the clue giver in a game is meant to be the clue giver to propel the game forward in a manner. And if it's just hanging everybody out to dry for an hour and a half or an hour or half an hour, whatever else, that's frustrating. So.
I get it. I've never played Deception Murder in Hong Kong, and that happened where the forensic scientist became the helper for the murderer.
Well, that's good.
I've never played it that way. It is a possibility, though.
Yeah.
And I think I don't think you can. I don't think you start the entire game from it. I'm hazy on the rules.
Sure.
I think it happens during the course of the game.
The person's like, look, it happened on Tuesday. That has a significance. And you're like, oh, no, it happened on Tuesday. No, I lied. It happened on Sunday. I don't know. It's horrible. Anyways, that's my number 7.
That's cool. All right, my number 6, last one for this segment. My number 6 is any game, generally speaking, that relies upon memory.
Yeah, fair.
I don't like it when I have to remember something that has been shown and then covered up again. Don't like it. Now, some games...
Do you have an example for this?
Well, yes.
A lot of games nowadays you can look back in or you take a token so you can see that thing again.
A couple of 2 games, and again, one is like a positive, one is like a negative. The one that's a negative is Bomb Busters. Because you don't know, and it's possible because you'll be able to, no, wait, you mark. Why is there memory in...
There's no memory in Bomb Busters.
You mark when you reveal something, you mark it.
Yep.
Okay, never mind. Forget Bomb Busters. The one that I kind of give a break to is Wandering Towers, because you have to remember where your mages are when they get covered up by some of those towers.
Sure.
And I give it a pass because it's usually not that difficult to figure it out.
I lose too many wizards. I lose my last guy like every time. So, but that's the game. If you had perfect information the entire time,
Right.
it wouldn't be as fun.
Yes, that's correct. So I give a pass to this this one, but that's the kind of thing what I'm talking about. If there's so many other things in Wandering Towers that I enjoy, I give a pass to the memory aspect of it, because I can usually figure it out, and even if it does take me a little bit longer to figure out where my mages are, I'm usually screwing it up for everybody else as well.
Sure.
So we're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
So it's not that big of a deal for me, but I really don't like games. I was never good at the whole 10 cards and you flipping over your matching. I was never good at that, never. And
I say
that just kind of falls over into this whole idea of not liking memory aspects of games.
That's fair. I think any game where memory is like a main part of the game, then I like it in there just fine.
Sure.
It's when a game says, hey, there's 4 objective cards over there, and if you do this special action, you get to look at one of those objective cards, and then you can never look at it again. Oh. Like, those kind of memory things annoy the turd out. I mean, they annoy me. And there's a lot of games now where you put a marker or something next to that card so you can look at it again. But there have been games in the past that are like,
thinking about
one time you can look at this token.
What is it? That kitchen one, Critter Kitchen does that.
Yeah.
When you can look at the thing, but you can go back. You don't have to remember what it is. If you've had that thing, you can always
because you
go
have
back
the
and
little
look.
token that
Right.
says you've already seen it.
Yep.
So, but there are games in the past, and I can't think of one right now. I didn't put memory on here, but it's a good thing.
Yeah.
But there are games where you can look at that token over there once, and then 35 minutes later,
You have to remember what it is.
You got to remember what it is, and
Understood.
that kind of sucks.
Yep. Don't like it.
All right, my number 6 game, we've kind of talked about this previously, or my number 6 rule that I don't like is when the poor get poorer. Good examples of this, obviously, are Steam Watchers
Yeah.
and Evolution.
Yep.
Some of those games where as you fall down or get beat down, Steam Watchers is a really, I really like Steam Watchers except for this one thing in it.
Yep.
Because in the Steam Watchers, the number of troops you have on the board at the beginning of the round or whatever is a certain amount. At the end of the round, if you've lost steam vents and everything else and your steam vent capacity goes down, you actually have to remove troops from the board because you lost resources to keep them up. So then you start the next round with less troops and less resources. And you have to continue to defend yourself in a game where people are pushing all over the board, where there's area control. You have one of your steam vents die off and you have somebody still the 3 steam vent from you, and all of a sudden you go from 12 troops to 6 troops. And it's really hard to come back from because now you have 6 troops to go up against their 12 troops.
And consequently, this is one of those games that doesn't have player elimination. You just come back in a weakened form if you do have all of your stuff eliminated off the board.
That's true too.
That really sucks.
That's even worse. And then Evolution is another one of those games. Obviously, it takes a little bit longer to get beat down, but if somebody builds the right predator at the right time and eats half of your critters, then you have a harder time making cards back up, making food back up, things like that, as everybody else is becoming more prolific.
Yep.
So, yeah, my number 6 is games that allow the poor to get poorer, that just let people get beat down and have a harder and harder time coming back.
All right, well, that is our bottom 5, numbers 10 through 6 of our top 10 annoying rules in games or mechanisms in games, whatever you want to put on it. And so what you can do now is you can click the link that's in the description below, head on over to the Flipside, and that's where we put up most of our content most of the time, and we have our top 5 most annoying rules or mechanisms, and you can go check that out right now because both of these went up at the same time. So thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys and gals on the flip side. Take care.
Whatever you do, keep playing games that have good rules.
Good rules, yes.
Hey, everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you like this review or whatever you just watched, wasn't it amazing? Check out our channel, Dice Tower. We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.